Hello and welcome. This is Alchemist X, and I wanted to go over the banners that are available for the rest of August, and then also talk about the challenge board now that it is fully accessible. So this level that's currently playing, plus the 8 summer celebration levels, some of which should seem pretty familiar if you played Global. Almost all of them appeared in Global at some point. So I wanted to do that, and then I'll showcase a couple of pulls that I did, and then we'll close out the video seeing what I got with my ticket. So just a quick aside about the maps themselves. In general, they shouldn't require too much effort. It's a little bit harder when you've got a language barrier to deal with, but generally speaking, especially with the forced setup levels, there are only so many options. So if need be, you could definitely brute force it. In the case of this level, you have skills that reduce the enemy's CT at different ranges, and then you have a damaging move, none of which are capable of one-shotting the enemies, and because they are more mobile than you are, you have to space it out, but then using a normal attack will increase your move so you can make up that difference, and then the rest of it is just using the spacing available to keep them separated enough that you can take them out one by one without getting overwhelmed, because they'll one-shot you if you get to them. For the majority of the other levels, most of them are going to be forced setups with a turn counter, and it doesn't really matter how well you do in the level for whatever its mechanics are. It's just going to be run out the clock and you'll beat the level. There are some exceptions to that. The one level with the 3 generic Phantom Soldier guys, you do need to do your tile spacing and jewel use spacing enough to do enough damage to the octopus in order to clear the level. Just go for yellow and red and you should be totally fine. And then the final level is going to be a kind of destroy the enemy statue before they destroy yours kind of thing. Just bring high damaging units and make sure to bop the crystal and have a multi-hitter to take out the guy that does cover, and you should be totally good. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the banners. And here we are at the banners. So I'm going to save the talk for the ticket for the end of the banner overview, just because I think it could get lengthy. And let's focus on the ones that are going to consume gems first. So starting with that, pickup banners for the Ancient Dragon Story characters. There are 2 in total, both give dragon coins. Now, while I don't love pickup banners, the coins can potentially be very, very useful, especially given the recent celebration event. It's very, very likely that many people out there, myself included, have newly acquired dragon units, and thus the coins will be extra useful when they start at that base price. So burning a discount ticket to get coins that way ultimately can be a really good value, even if the pulls themselves are really bad. There's also a pickup banner for mementos for the respective Ancient Dragon units. Now, as I always say with these, they're very all or nothing. If you really wanted to go the distance and get the selector, you can. But other than that, it's not very, very high value, especially almost all of the available mementos were available via more efficient means. If you were trying to snag somebody like a Nanji's memento, then it might be worthwhile, but aside from that, it's definitely not very gem efficient. For the character shard banners, I never really recommend this, even though you can reroll. Like 3 rerolls might not be enough to make it worth your while, and there is no consolation. Now, this 9-step for memento units definitely could be very, very worth your while. Doubly so if you've got discount tickets, especially if you have a lot of discount tickets. That makes it relatively inexpensive. If you have none of these units, spending 2 discount tickets to guarantee one of them is really, really good value. It's one of those banners where all 5 stars are going to be the featured units, guaranteed 1 on 2 and on 5, and then selector at step 9 if you wanted to go all the way. Louis, a memento unit, is one of my favorite and most used units. He is excellent. Of course, Shandy is very, very handy for her evasion. And then, of course, the Blade Fox trio, maybe less OP, but still very, very good kits overall and very varied. Vermeo's an interesting one. I've had him for quite a while, and I don't use him a lot, but there are a few contexts where he's really, really good to have, especially if you've got a means to buff him, then he can be both offensive and defensive at the same time. And his half health transformation is pretty nice to have sometimes, especially in longer levels. So this banner definitely gets my approval if you stand to benefit from it. And then besides that, if you were saving some discount tickets, or I guess a discount ticket extra for Lindrake's Yukata Memento, that is still around too, as are the rest of the banners that were from last week. So overall, a lot of options to choose from, whether you're looking to go in on a banner or just get rid of your discount tickets. Okay, now, with all of that out of the way, just about the ticket, in case you weren't around the last time we were in this scenario, because this exact scenario has happened before with a pool of units and a ticket and a 100 Enlightenment Shards selector. You're guaranteed one unit, and then you get a selector that is for the pool. You might potentially get more, but I think there's two ways to look at it. Either pick the pool that has the units that you are looking to acquire the most, and or get 100 shards if it's going to be a duplicate, or hedge against really bad RNG and just think about which character 100 Enlightenment Shards would help you out the most. Will it get you a gate 5? Will it get you a gate 7, etc.? And just choose that one, even if the pool itself is like really, really hit or miss. But yeah, that's about all I've got to say. For me personally, number 1 was very clearly the right choice, but of course it's going to be different for you depending on what your account looks like. Okay, so that is it for banners. So next up, I'm going to do the summoning, just burning my discount tickets, and then we'll close out the video using my ticket. Okay, so what is my game plan here? So I decided to use one ticket on the pickup banner to get myself some shards of Smire and whatever remains, because it's going to be 125 for that, and then I'll probably spend the rest on Lisa. But in general, getting the shards of Smire was the priority. So as you can see, that was absolute total dud. Not too surprising. Don't have a great track record with pickup banners in general. And I don't know why, discount tickets, especially step 1 discount tickets, they are almost never yield anything. Definitely see what I mean here when do another step 1 with another discount ticket. I mean, just sometimes RNG is it's just like that, but I didn't have a lot of expectations going in. In general, it's just, how do I get rid of discount tickets? I figured 1 on the pickup banner and then 2 on this Memento banner for Memento units. The worst case scenario here is that I get 25 shards of Louis. I've got his Memento Max Limit broken already, so that's all it would really yield. But even then, he's not maxed out completely yet, so it wouldn't be a total waste, but definitely Louis would be the least ideal, and then probably Vermeo's Memento after that, even if that's not max limit broken. But as you can see, I got the absolute bare minimum, but because of this banner style, it's much better than the bare minimum. And we have Jubei. So the one unit I didn't mention when I was talking about the this banner in particular, that's mostly because aside from the fact that she does Thunder Slash and has follow-up attacks, and I'm assuming is designed to kind of synergize with Celis, I don't know that much about her, but I'll definitely try, I'll at least raise her to 16, kind of see what her kit is like. So yeah, not bad for a bare minimum. Still got a new Memento and unit out of it. So next up, let's see what I get from the ticket. Okay, so let's jump into part 1. And we see it downloading. So that's a very, very good sign, because the worst case scenario for me on this banner would be 100 shards of Mitsuha, and I already have Mitsuha. Thus, whatever that downloading is going to be somebody new. There are definitely varying levels of how immediately useful certain units are going to be. Of course, if it's a version 2 unit, that's going to take a little while longer. And so for the guaranteed, we got Lycoris. That's a good duplicate for me. She's not totally maxed out yet. I could get her gate 7 potentially. Water Missile is one of my strongest teams. So while it's not super exciting, it is very, very practical. And we still have 1 red to go, which we know this is what the downloading was going to be for. So it looks like it is Zangetsu. That is pretty cool. I don't know what it is with my luck and light, but I don't know, keep it up. I really like light. However, it's going to take a while. I don't even have regulars on Getsu maxed out yet as far as enlightenment goes, so let alone getting his shards. So he'll get a spot in the soul port, and then it's a waiting game. So yeah, that's all I've got for this week/month. And if you're summoning, I wish you good luck, and I will see you all next time.